Here at Jane Sanders Stadium, but it wasn't the dogs making the noise, it was the fish. Addison Fisher, freshman, to bark back on Bark in the Park Day with an 8-0 win as Addison Fisher went the distance in a shutout. To right, Kai Lushar, her sister Kedri Lushar in center. Ayana Shaw gets another start in right field. Was 1 for 3 with a single. She hits that one the other way down to left field, and it gets off the sidewall. 0-2.
That one was entering Lushar territory. And that's a big zone that she can cover, has a read on anything off the bat.
Clemens with a moment to recollect herself. Lindsey Grime struck out 8 Bruins on Friday night in her win. The 0-2, up and away.
And after the 8 strikeout performance, she then started yesterday's game with 2 strikeouts. So 10 strikeouts so far in her about 6 1/3 innings pitched versus UCLA this weekend.
1-2. Popped up foul and out of play. Clemens staying alive. It's something we saw a lot yesterday with these UCLA batters. They only struck out 2 times as a team. It was the first 2 batters of the game, and both of them were looking. And usually when you strike out looking, it's just a really good pitch by pitcher, but UCLA really disciplined at the plate yesterday. Another 1-2. Clemens takes a little bit above the zone. The crowd wanted that to be called strike 3, and it was not.
It's a close one from Grime. Yeah, her 2 strikeouts yesterday were both looking both on that corner of the zone, and she might be chasing that here.
There's the 2-2 pitch. That one is called strike 3. Had to throw one extra, but Lindsey Grime paints the corner the same way she started yesterday, starts it again today with a backwards K.
And when she faces a lefty hitter, she just goes towards the outside part of the zone, and she always tends to freeze them. Just look at that. Rising, cutting a bit outside, and just notches the edge.
So here's Savannah Pola. First pitch to her is high, ball 1. Now both Clemens and Pola went down looking against Grime to open the game in the top of the first on Saturday. Clemens now with just 15 strikeouts on the year. Pola this season a mere 10. She's ahead now, 2 balls and no strikes.
And Grime got Clemens to strike out like yesterday. Will it be the same thing happening here to Pola?
2-0. Pola takes a strike. I think base runners, Dylan, are going to be a big thing for both sides. Oregon with just 1 walk. UCLA had a lot more. That was the difference. This one grounded hard but foul down the first base line.
Just early on that one. And yeah, definitely the runners on base. While UCLA scored 8 runs yesterday, they did still leave 7 on base. So while they not much offense for the Ducks.
But Grime after battling back. It's 2-2. The pitch home. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lindsey Grime. Now that is the 399th in her collegiate career.
That one swings through. Pola does. Again, the heat. 69 on the gun from Lindsey Grime. Those are fantastic numbers.
Grime off to a good start. 2 strikeouts in just 11 pitches, and the base is empty with no one on for Jordan Woolery. She takes inside for ball 1.
Woolery, a difference maker yesterday, started off things going in that 6th inning with a 3 RBI bases clearing double.
It's in there. It's 1-1. Woolery this season, the junior, batting at a .426 clip. 18 home runs, 68 driven in. 4 of them were yesterday. Sails high.
Whenever you throw a rise ball, Aiden, kind of on the inside part of the zone, sometimes it can go at the eye level, but you can also generate so many swings and misses, and Grime just feeds off that.
For 2-1. That's a called strike.
Goes back to the heat, 69 miles per hour. Wouldn't be surprised if she can potentially touch 70 with how she's throwing right now.
Grime looking to try to strike out the side. 2-2 to Woolery. This one lofted out to left field. Luchar charging in, makes the catch. And it is 3 up, 3 at the corners for the Bruins. First pitch from Terry, hits her on the ankles, maybe the top part of the shoe. A wild one to start the game, and Kai Luchar is on base. That is something the Bruins do not want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Kai Luchar, 46 stolen bases. Oregon single-season stolen base record holder. And she's could be a shoo-in for a spot on second, because there's a big chance that Mexico will be tested behind the dish with Luchar's speed.
And she's going to trot down the first base line a little bit to shake that one up. Seems like she is feeling fine. I always feel better once you get to first base, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just nice little saving grace for Luchar. And it's always odd when you have the slap hitting mentality and that approach. You kind of open yourself up to a lot more hit by pitches because you're stepping up in the zone. But Luchar, she's had a couple of those this season.
So here's Riley McCoy up in the order to the 2 spot. First pitch, Luchar dancing off first, and it's a called strike to McCoy. 0-1.
It's interesting, McCoy moved up to the 2 spot. She's more your stereotypical, cleanup hitter, Aiden. But I like the move. I think get one of your best hitters and hottest hitters right now further up.
And the 0-1. Luchar sees that one skip away, and she's going to go to second, make a wide turn around the bag, but pull it up right there. So a hit by pitch, and then a wild pitch by UCLA, and the Ducks get a runner in scoring position with no one out here in the early going.
And that's just a rough first couple of pitches to start off your day for Kaylin Terry, who's one of the best pitchers on this UCLA staff. Just a couple of pitches to forget.
1-1 to McCoy. Hits it foul back to the backstop. It's 1-2.
Lombardi yesterday, the problem they had versus Fisher is that they took too long to adjust. That's what she was saying. Fisher just took advantage of that. If Oregon can get on the board first and make UCLA adjust, that'll be big.
1-2, McCoy down by the shoot tops. On Friday, UCLA sent Taylor Tinsley in the circle, so this is the 3rd different starter that the Bruins have used this series. The Ducks have used the same one all 3 games with Lindsey Grime. Terry's 2-2. McCoy watches it skip in, and the count is full.
That was heat off the arm of Terry, 68 miles per hour. And both pitchers in the circle on either side are just absolute flamethrowers.
Payoff. McCoy swings, hits that one past the third baseman, Woolery into left field. Luchar's getting the wave from assistant coach Martyr. She slides into home safely. It's an explosive start for the Ducks. A rocket single down the left field line. An RBI for Riley McCoy, and it's 1-0 Oregon.
And Riley McCoy just barrels that down the line, and that's why you move her up to the 2 spot. She gets a pitch she likes, a little bit high, and perfect swing path from her. And Luchar's speed, there's no doubt once she gets a second, she's scoring off that.
So that's a dream start for the Ducks. You get your leadoff hitter, the speedster in Luchar, and you immediately get her in. And then another one goes to the backstop, glancing off the glove of the catcher, Mujica. McCoy scoots on over to second. So 2 wild pitches in this inning by the Bruins, and they're going to want to talk it over.
Yeah, this is rough for the southpaw. That is Terry. And she's not been used to this kind of pressure. Hasn't really had to face it all season long. But as a veteran on this team, she needs to step up now and adapt.
It's uncharacteristic for the lefty Terry, pitching to a 2.08 ERA, 15-3 record this year, approaching 100 innings, coming into this one 97.2 innings pitched. So another big opportunity for the Ducks. 1-0, Luchar takes down and in, 2-0.
Terry, freshman of the year last year in the Pac-12, and pitched against Oregon and only gave up a couple runs. So she's familiar with this lineup.
And the 2-0, Luchar grounds it over to second. Pola's got it. Her only play is to first. She makes it. But it works like a sacrifice. Riley McCoy moves up 60 feet up to third base now with 1 out here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, moves up 60 feet and now 60 feet away. McCoy, not necessarily known for her speed, but if Cox, she has some power and pop. If she can get something to the outfield with 1 out, you can score another one and go up 2-0 early. Oregon hasn't been aggressive and hasn't scored before the 4th inning this whole series.
It's what the Ducks need to get cash in on their opportunities. A runner on third with less than 2 outs. First pitch, Cox takes a strike. For the Ducks catcher, freshman batting .355, 4 round trippers, 20 ribbies on the season. Their teammate Riley McCoy standing on third. The 0-1, Cox checked her swing, appeal down, they say she went, 0-2.
Jane Sanders faithful, not liking that one down the first base line, the call. But Cox just needs to get stuck in with 2 strikes back against the wall.
And the 0-2, Cox takes down and in. The 3 umpires today behind the dish, John Baca at first base, Ron Burkhart, and at third, Vince Price. Cox back into the box, an opportunity to drive in a run. The 1-2 from Terry. Cox takes a little bit inside. It's 2-2.
This lefty-righty matchup. Emma Cox hasn't really had to face this all season long. And spin is so different. It's such a hard thing to get used to, especially when lefties just aren't really prevalent or common in softball.
The 2-2 home. Cox flares it foul. Putting together a good battle.
We saw so many good battles yesterday, Aiden. About in the first 2 innings, we saw at least 4 of those at-bats go to full counts and 7 pitch at-bats.
Infield is shaded semi-in for UCLA, maybe trying to cut down the runner at home. The 2-2, Cox a little check swing, and they won't appeal down. It was outside. And from 0-2, it's now 3-2.
Good job working it from Cox, the freshman. Brings some great discipline for the Ducks.
Terry strikes out Cox swinging. A big out for UCLA.
And that fastball, it just looks so tantalizing and then just rises up on you, especially in the lefty-righty matchup. And you swing through it, Cox under it. A good strikeout, way to settle in for Terry.
And now 2 down, and Riley McCoy still standing on third for Paige Sinicki. First pitch, Paige went around and might have been a foul ball, but either way, it's strike 1.
Just kind of waves the wand a little bit at it. Sinicki been moved down to this 5 spot. Hasn't really been on it as of recently, but looking to turn her woes around.
0-1, Sinicki chops it back. It's 0-2. It'll be big for Caitlin Terry and UCLA. They can work out of this inning only allowing 1 run. Riley McCoy was on third base with 1 out, but after the strikeout to Emma Cox, there's now 2 away.
So now the approach goes from a sacrifice potential to you need to find some outfield grass.
Sinicki with 6 homers, 33 runs batted in the 2025 campaign. The 0-2, she takes a ball. It's an off-speed from Terry, but Sinicki not biting.
Like you said, this is so major already for UCLA. If Terry can get out of this with only 1 run across, leave 1 on base for the Ducks, it could be massive.
And the 1-2, way up and away. McCoy didn't get enough of a jump off third to try to scamper home. Kind of took a fortuitous bounce right off the screen back to the catcher Mujica. And it's just a ball, 2-2, but that's now 3 wild ones uncorked by Terry.
Yeah, we saw it yesterday from Sokolsky, and the wild pitches will come to bite you.
The 2-2, Sinicki chopper back to shortstop. Bragg tries to scoop it, but she knocks it away, and Sinicki's safe. A run in for the Ducks. 2-0 Oregon.
And it looks like Sinicki and Bragg have switched roles from yesterday. Sinicki, the Gold Glover, making some errors on that Saturday matchup, but now Bragg has caught the error bug, and McCoy able to score off that. Sinicki does a good job of running down to first. Good hard 60, and McCoy making the most of it. Oregon now 2-0 up with 2 hits.
Here's Des Patman with 2 runs in this inning for the Ducks. Sinicki taking off to second. The throw down is a little bit high, and she gets under the tag safely. Patman went around on the swing, so it's 0-1. But a stolen base for Sinicki. Dylan, I found it interesting on that last ball off Sinicki's bat, the defense for UCLA, just leaving a lot of space up the middle, just chopper right over the circle. Bragg kind of had to shuffle to her left and just try to stab and scoop it, but could not. The 0-1, Patman takes low.
Yeah, it was an interesting alignment. And when Sinicki, she's a veteran hitter. She knows what she's doing. That approach immediately turns to how can we get it just past the pitcher and through that little gap, and Bragg forced to make an error.
Terry's 1-1. Patman, a little half-hearted swing. She went around, and it's 1-2. They have given Paige Sinicki a credit for a single and an RBI as McCoy scored from third. But a good start for the Ducks. Shut out in 6 straight innings yesterday. They've already put a 2 spot on the board here in the first. 1-2 to Patman. She swings and misses. Went after the high heat from Terry, and the inning is over. But the Ducks scratch out a couple of runs on a couple of hits. They leave 1 runner on base. The Bruins 1-2-3.
An identical inning to how she started yesterday, but now she's in the game. Is going to stay in here as long as she can. Those 2 massive strikeouts. 1 more to tie the record, or to get 400.
First pitch of the inning skips into Megan Grant, the power-hitting lefty for UCLA.
She hasn't been as prevalent as she's used to, Aiden. I mean, you see the numbers, leader in home runs and RBIs in the nation.
Ducks intentionally walked her 2 times as Grime fires it up and in, 2-0. Some miscommunication with her catcher, Emma Cox, and they're going to go out to discuss things. I think they maybe got crossed up on that last pitch.
Yeah, it's a little, and I mean, you definitely want to talk things over when you have Megan Grant. While she hasn't been really herself in these last 2 games, I mean, you know the power she has at her bat.
Grant yesterday in the 8-0 win for the Bruins was 1 for 2. 2 intentional walks and then a double. Just has 1 hit in this series, does Grant, which is kind of a crazy thing to say. Grinds 2-0. Grant takes down the middle, a strike, 2-1.
I mean, it's unreal to say that, 1 hit through about a couple at bats and 2 intentional walks is poor for her. But I mean, she's coming into this with about 3 grand slams through 5.
2-1. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. Numbers for Grant this year: .402 average, 22 home runs, 68 RBIs. It's tied for the team lead with Jordan Woolery. The 3-1 home. Grant reaches for it, pops it up right to third. Flannery has it. Big out for Oregon. 1 gone in the top of the second.
And that's such a good pitch from Grime. That's the one you want. Get Grant lunging. If you give something to her over the heart of the play or a bit high, like Sokolsky gave her yesterday on her roaring double. So she learned, she studied, and Grant just lunging at one, trying to put a cork into it.
So 1 out and the base is empty now for the UCLA shortstop, Kanaya Bragg. She takes the first pitch a little bit inside, 1-0, and Kanaya Bragg had, I think, the biggest day just overall for the Bruins. 2 for 3 with a single and a 3-run homer. It's great on the defensive end as she's ahead of the count against Grime, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, I mean, she really proved her worth. That roaring home run, I mean, we said that just got over the netting at Jane Sanders Stadium, and that netting's pretty tall, Aiden.
2-0. Called strike.
And Grime just in attack mode, and Lombardi wanted that. And there's one player that has command of a strike zone. It's Lindsey Grime, one of the best at commanding the zone in the nation.
Her 2-1 pitch. Down and in, 3 balls and a strike. Same count she fell behind against Grant.
She knows how to battle back. Probably see something in the zone, maybe a little bit inside. See if Bragg can get the hands to it.
And the 3-1, that one is up and outside, ball 4. First base runner of the day for the Bruins. It's a walk issued to Kanaya Bragg.
She tried to work on the outside part of the zone. And Bragg, if you give her something inside, she does have the hands to kind of get to it. Anything high as well. but just couldn't land the rise ball.
So Lindsey Grime trying to recollect herself against the lefty left fielder, Riley Slimp. First pitch to Slimp is a called strike. Good job by Emma Cox just to nab that upper outside part of the zone. Get her pitcher to an 0-1 start.
And she's getting back into the starting catcher role. I mean, her framing is unreal. She's so good defensively as well offensively.
The 0-1, Slimp, ground ball to second base. Jones tags the runner, throws on to first. It's in time for a double play. 4 unassisted to 3. The Twins.
A night and day difference for the Ducks so far. See how the second inning goes, but turning the double play and the bats getting going already.
So Ayana shot a lead off, pokes a bunt down the first base line. Grant throws onto the second baseman, Pola covering. Good job by UCLA to react to the bunt and run attempt by Ayana Shaw. She's out number 1 here in the bottom of the second.
She definitely tends to go to that because of her speed, and if you can get her on, it's a similar situation to Sinicki and Lushar. The stolen base is definitely on.
So Shaw, who we just saw, got out. Katie Flannery and Caitlin Jones, 8 and 9, due up in the Ducks order. Terry's first pitch on the outside corner to Flannery, 0-1. For Katie Flannery this season, down towards more towards the bottom of the order. 9 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Still batting around 300, 294. The 0-1, she flips that one foul back to the screen, 0-2.
It's unreal to think that you have a hitter batting 1 point below 300 sitting at the bottom of your order, and that's your lowest average in the whole order. I mean, Sinicki talked about it. This is not a 1 through 9, it's a 1 through 18.
Up and away for ball 1.
The depth for Oregon just so important. I think that's what's really propelled the Maiden.
No, it certainly has, and especially I think early on in this season for Coach Lombardi, she's still kind of tinkering and figuring things out with their team just because there was so many new players. Flannery swings and misses, strikes out. Second K of the day for Caitlin Terry, now 2 gone. But no, to your point, Dylan, I think for Coach Lombardi, you just saw a lot of different lineups throughout the early going. You think Riley McCoy, she leads the team as a freshman in home runs with 14. She didn't even play the first weekend. The Ducks had their first 5 games in Las Vegas. Swing and a miss by Jones. Good off speed.
And yeah, 100%. I mean, those are the players you have on the bench here. I mean, Ayana Shaw is getting to start Maake's day-to-day right now. And as well as you have Bracy Rose on the bench, who filled in for Emma Cox when she was injured.
Jones lofts one out to center. Clemens trotting over to her left a couple steps, puts it away, and it's an easy breezy 1-2-3 inning. This is Ramirez to lead things off for UCLA in their half of the third. Ryan's first pitch home to her is outside, ball 1.
Ramirez only at the single yesterday, and had a line out third baseman and a ground out to the pitcher, so wants to keep a little bit of a hitting streak here.
The 1-0. Ramirez watches that one. In there for a strike, it's 1-1. And as the designated player, Alexis Ramirez got the start, but then was pinch hit just in the 4th inning by Riley Pinedo, and then came back to hit in the 6th inning. The 1-1. Another called strike. Grime is just firing it in there, painting corners inside and out.
She just controls the strike zone. I mean, that's kind of the feeling. She's so intimidating because she can go to any part of the zone with any pitch anytime she wants.
And the 1-2. Up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Just a little bit outside there. But Grime, she's been working outside on some of these righty hitters, kind of working a bit east to west. She can go inside whenever she wants as well. Maybe jam them.
2-2 offering. A little bit just up and away. Grime's nibbling a bit. Now the count 3-2.
Hunting for 400.
Can she find it? The 3-2 to Ramirez. Lined out to left field. Lushar is going to conservatively play it on a hop and fire it back into the infield. It's the first hit of the day for UCLA. A leadoff single to begin things in the top of the third for Alexis Ramirez.
Lushar, she saw Sports Center top 10 last night and had on her mind for a second, but it was the right approach, kind of taking that conservatively and just kind of letting the ball come to her.
I think that's the type of plays you don't necessarily want to gamble in. You want to be a little more conservative in a game like this where Want to minimize mistakes. As we're going to have a pinch hitter on base for UCLA. And it's Liesl Osteen who is running at first base for Ramirez. Sofia Mujica is the catcher, and in the batter's box for UCLA, the recipient of ball one. So for Liesl Osteen, she's in the lineup, but defensive, just a defensive player playing only right field today for UCLA. 1-1 now to Mujica.
She might be talking about the first baseman, Riley McCoy, as they did go to the same high school, Oaks Christian, down in the Los Angeles area, so might having a good conversation there, talking about things and catching up.
Pitch grounded down the third baseline, foul. It's 1-2. Caitlin Terry is in the on-deck circle for UCLA, the pitcher hitting for herself and in the 9 spot. No outs and a runner on first for the Bruins. Grinds 1-2. Outside, Cox goes back pick to first, but diving back in head first was Osteen. Cox has caught a handful of runners in that way this season. Did it 3 times in Cathedral City in the Mary Nutter against 3 different teams, Cal, Utah, and Missouri. The 2-2, Mujica flares it foul, and she'll see another.
Cox is searching for that one. Maybe it will come down the canopy. It doesn't. But yeah, I mean, her arm behind the plate and kind of her pop time as well. I mean, she's so good defensively, and the offense really lives up to it. But I think defensive first for Emma Cox is kind of what Oregon's been missing a little.
2-2 again. That one is in tight and a full count.
You wonder, and if the crowd knows about the potential 400th strikeout, because they're really getting revved up on these 2 strike counts.
A big pitch in this ball game. The full count fire. Fly ball mile high on the infield. Sinicki calling, battling the sun, makes the catch for out number 1.
The sun's starting to beam. It wasn't this morning, but that pop up about 6 drafts tall and just coming down to Sinicki. Easy out.
6 giraffes tall. That's an interesting form of measurement, Dylan.
Measurement in giraffes is kind of the way of the future now, I think.
Here's Caitlin Terry. First pitch, called strike.
Goes back to the outside, and Grime just loves to work outside against the righties and the lefties. Sometimes her velocity is too much for them to catch up.
Pitch to her, ground ball to shortstop. Sinicki shovels to second, 1, throwing to first. That's all they'll get. So it's 6-4 on the cut down of the lead runner. Liesl Osteen is out at second and exchanging places with her. Caitlin Terry now on first with 2 outs.
Good play from Sinicki at short. Wanted 2, but that one a bit too much to stretch. Just not a hard enough hit from the bat of Terry. But getting the lead runner is extremely important.
Flips the lineup over to the top. Jessica Clemens, who is one of 2 strikeout victims of Lindsey Grime, went down looking in the first. Opening pitch. Outside, ball 1. For Caitlin Terry, she has stolen 5 bases in 5 attempts this year. Swing and a miss, a wild hack at a pitch up and in by Clemens, and it's 1-1.
She'll talk with the third base coach. Whoever's down there at third for UCLA. I mean, that is a big hack and a miss. I mean, when the rise ball, especially is from the righty to lefty, coming in on the eyes and then just starts to go up right when you want to swing. It's such a tempting pitch to go for in Clemens.
Just seemed like an uncharacteristic type swing from Jessica Clemens. 59 hits on the season. A little more speed and contact part of her game, but swinging for the fences on that one. After both meeting ends, it's 1-1. And Grinds, pitch home. Upstairs.
Grime not working as much north to south, which is typical in softball. A lot of west to east.
Caitlin Terry on first base. 2-0 Ducks, top of the third. This one floated the other way, and it's going to hit down near Oregon's dugout and Karam into it. Evening up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'm just practicing the swing, and like you said, I mean, she doesn't strike out a lot, but Grime's had her number this weekend, as her hit on Friday came against Sokolsky once Grime was already out of the game, which is a home run. So she knows she has the power, but 2 outs, you need to be a bit more conservative. Your approach should just go kind of up the middle where that gap is.
Lindsey Grime given a new softball. We'll see if this one has some strikes in it. 2-2 to Jessica Clemens with 2 outs in the inning. The 2-2, Clemens strikes out swinging. It's number 400 in the illustrious career of Lindsey Grime, and it ends the inning here in the top of the third. Bruins get a leadoff single, but don't do any more with it. Done with 2.5 from Jane Sanders Stadium. 1-0. For Luchar, she was hit by the pitch. Got hit or on the ankle or the top of the foot to begin the game. Came around to score the game's first run. The 1-0, Luchar up and in.
And already starting out this at-bat better because Luchar isn't standing on first like last time when it was the first pitch of Terry's day. But turning over the lineup card already for the Ducks is a good sign.
2-0 from Terry. Luchar pulled back a bunt and watched the ball. 3-0. I don't know, 36 pitches now for Caitlin Terry, and Dylan, I think maybe just having some trouble with her command. We've seen 3 balls that have gone to the backstop. 2 of them have resulted in Oregon taking a base because of it, but these last 3 pitches to Luchar, not really close. These are kind of easy takes.
Absolutely, and this one will probably be down the middle.
But it's not. It's down and in, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Kai Luchar. So a hit by pitch and a walk. No official at-bats by Luchar. 2 plate appearances and 2 trips to first base.
And Noe Perez and the home plate umpire, John Baca, talking. And then she's going to have a conversation with Terry. And I don't blame you. Like you said, the command issues have been prevalent for Terry. Will she be taken out?
It looks like Coach Perez is now going back towards the home plate umpire, John Baca. Didn't look like anyone was warming up in the Bruins bullpen, or at least just gotten started, and we will have a pitching change. It's going to be Addison Fisher taking the place of Caitlin Terry. So Coach Perez for the Bruins has seen enough. Addison Fisher into the ball game with
Luchar, a trip to third. That would have gone away, but Kyle Luchar just so automatic on that stolen base.
The 1-0, McCoy hits it hard down the line. Look out in the Ducks dugout. For Riley, her first at-bat came in the first inning, an RBI single when Kai Luchar, same situation. She was on second base with no one out and drove her in on a line drive out to left field. Fisher set. The righty. Home on the 1-1. McCoy pops it up deep to center field. Clemens is going back, now back a couple more steps, makes the catch, tagging from second on to third. Luchar in there with a head-first dive. So Riley McCoy does her job in getting the runner over. Now the Ducks are 60 feet away from making it a 3-0 game.
Yeah, 60 feet away, and her sister will now take the batter's box, and there's so many ways to score this run now, and that's why it's so good. You have 1 out, Kai Luchar's speed 60 feet away, and Kedry.
Kedry Luchar up to bat, a chance to drive in her sister. She leads the Ducks in hits with 57. First pitch skips in, low and away, ball 1.
She's been having such a breakout year, and she was already one of the prominent players on this team, but she's taking such a step up, batting the 460s. That's unheard of.
1-0 on the inside corner. Good placement by Fisher, evens it up at a ball and a strike. Not really that much you can do with that pitch if you're Kai Luchar. If you end up swinging, it's probably just going to be off the handle. And a slow grounder, not going to go very far. So the 1-1. She hits it on a line out to center. Clemens is not going to catch it. It's overhead, 1 up against the wall. Luchar has scored. Kedry's trying to get to third. She gets there. An RBI triple sends all the Ducks fans up out of their seats. And it's family business. Kedry driving in Kai, and it's 3-0 Oregon here in the bottom of the third.
And the fish finally bit. That one is going to the wall. Clements didn't have the read on it. Took the right approach. His first step should always be forward first as an outfielder, but just a late read, not getting it off the bat. Like you said, family business as usual.
It's going to be a run no matter what, even if she had made that catch. She could not, and now the same situation. Another Luchar on third base with 1 out and a run in. Emma Cox takes low, 1-0.
Now 3 runs on this day, tying how many the Ducks scored on Friday, but this time it's in the third inning. Just what a difference. And Melissa Lombardi, locker room talk yesterday, definitely changed a couple things, I'm sure of it. You can tell in the field the product's just different.
That was RBI number 38 of the season for Kedry Luchar, her third triple on the campaign. Now we'll have a meeting, I think. Pitcher Addison Fisher, I believe, has her pitch comm. Something
Yeah, I think something
not
wrong
working.
with it. Yeah.
Technical difficulties. But Emma Cox up to bat. Last time up, she struck out swinging against Caitlin Terry and had a chance to drive in a run. Riley McCoy was on third base with 1 out, couldn't get her home, but then thankfully, player on deck for Oregon, Paige Sinicki, drove her in with a single back in the first inning. Ducks scored 2 runs in the first. They've scored 1 so far here in the third.
And they've just been aggressive. I mean, the aggressive mentality when hitting has been a mantra of Melissa Lombardi's team. And they're really taking it to heart here and they're bringing it to the Bruins for these first 3.
So after all that, a new pitch comm given to Addison Fisher. The run that scored is charged today. Pitch to Cox. She grounds it foul.
Yesterday, Cox versus Fisher, 0 for 3, grounded out, popped out, struck out.
Struck out to end the ball game against Fisher yesterday. The 1-1 and off speed, a little bit high. 2-1.
She landed a similar one like that yesterday. And that off speed, she likes to just dip it down to graze the top of the zone, but that one a bit too high. Home plate umpire not having it.
2-1. Cox fights it off, fading foul and into Oregon's bullpen. Or around it. 2-2.
Walks just early and sees the high pitch under it. And Emma Cox doesn't necessarily have the fastest hands on this team, so if she can get something kind of on the outer part of the plate that she can hit, I think she'd prefer it.
These are big situations for the Ducks. Got to capitalize on every single opportunity, especially with how good UCLA is. The 2-2. Cox, a little grounder towards third. Luchar's hung up on the base path. Mujica throws down, and then it gets away into the outfield to left field. Luchar's going to come in to score. Cox scoots up to second. Not the way the Ducks drew it up at all. An error by UCLA, but it's a run nonetheless, and Oregon out to a 4-0 advantage.
And when you have a Luchar sister bearing down, the pressure just mounts, and the mentality, you need to be so strong mentally when playing defense on every second of the game, and that one got away from Mujica. See, good play from Woolery, and just not the throw you want. Just couldn't glove it. Bragg.
Kanaya Bragg, the shortstop, had to go over to the third base bag to go and cover, and maybe just a tad too late getting over there. So the Ducks plate another run. Emma Cox up to second, and it's 4-0 to the home team. Sinicki squares to bunt, and it rolls south of the dish. Ball 1. So they charge an error on UCLA that's going to go against the catcher, Sophia Mujica. Cox reaches on a fielder's choice, and then up to second on the error. Well, we've talked about it this season for Oregon. They like to steal a lot of bases, and that one, it's not a stolen base. It kind of felt like one, though. Just mind-boggling of the Bruins. Sinicki hits this one high to center field, but not all that deep. Clemens makes the catch. Cox a little bluff off second just for the throw. And it was a good one. Clemens into Woolery at third for out number 2.
And it's unfortunate for Fisher, besides the triple she gave up. That last run, just not really her fault. And I think it's just kind of odd to think about this defensively, how these two teams have just absolutely flipped from Sunday to Saturday.
Brings up Desiana Patman. Takes the first pitch strike from Fisher. Patman struck out swinging to end the bottom of the first inning against Caitlin Terry. Cox, not tremendous speed on second base. Patman got hit on the elbow, and I think they say that one went off the knob of her bat, rather, so it's a foul ball.
I mean, I think just how that kind of ricocheted off of her. I mean, I would be shocked if it hit off her hand. That hand would have to be made out of steel or wood.
And Coach Lombardi is talking it over with the home plate umpire, John Baca. It looked like Patman kind of flinched. I thought maybe if it hit her, we'll take another look.
That might have gone off the wrist guard.
It's close, but I think just the way that one caromed, I would say it went off the knob of the bat. They stick with that call, so a foul ball, 0-2 to Patman. Fisher's pitch to her. Patman pokes it foul the other way.
Patman able to get a double off Fisher yesterday. But so far, against Terry in her last at-bat, struck out to end the first.
Just one of 3 hits for Oregon yesterday against Addison Fisher, the only one of extra base variety. The 0-2, Patman takes a little bit inside.
That one almost getting the hand again. Patman able to take a ball there.
And the 1-2. Dez ropes it out to left field. Diving catch coming in on the charge. Riley Slimp makes a fantastic play to end the inning. Done with 3 full.
So dominant. I mean, I don't expect her to slow down anytime soon.
Tough part of the order she has to face second time against 2, 3, 4 for UCLA. Pola, Woolery, and Grant. First pitch, Pola swats it to shortstop Sinicki on one hop. A good play and a good throw over to first. 1 pitch, 1 out for Lindsey Grime to begin the top of inning number 4.
Sinicki has become a goldfish from yesterday, and now just delivered a dart and a good play right there, just hot off the bat of Pola. Throw that one down to first. That's the Gold Glover we know and love.
The goldfish with the gold glove. Committed an error yesterday that kind of got things started for the Bruins in their 8-0 win. But a good play there. First pitch to Jordan Woolery, a strike. Lindsey Grime's just filling up the zone today. This will be pitch number 50. The 0-1 home, Woolery, another ground ball. A tougher play for Sinicki. She cannot get to it. Laid out on the dirt, but out of her reach. A 1-out single past the shortstop for Jordan Woolery.
Good aggressiveness from Woolery. Just found the pitch she liked. And just get on base. It's so important for UCLA.
Brings up Megan Grant. Popped out to third base in the second inning. Had a 3-1 count, but Grime got her to reach. First pitch to the AB. Outside, 1-0.
Cox tried to do a frame job. But as you said before, Aiden, I mean, Melissa Lombardi talked about it yesterday. The pitching woes were a large part because they were just falling behind early, and Grime hasn't really fell behind.
Falls behind here, 2-0, trying to nibble at that outside edge to the lefty Grant.
Might be pitching Grant a little bit carefully, but need to be on attack mode. Need to find a good balance, especially against a dangerous hitter.
2-0. Grant swings, flies this one the other way down the left field line. It is going to one hop up and over the sidewall. Kai Lushar in a full sprint. Couldn't quite get to that one.
No, just a bit too much power off it. And it did stay on that sidewall, so if that one was just a bit slower, she could have made a play on it.
2 balls and a strike to Megan Grant. Jordan Woolery on first base, top of the 4th inning. Ducks with a 4-0 advantage. Winner of this series jumps in a sole possession of first place in the Big Ten Conference. The 2-1. Outside again. 3 balls and a strike.
Working her out and low. Doesn't want to put something too far inside, but the other thing, Grant, she might be expecting it.
She takes the 3-1 low, and patience makes perfect. She draws the walk. So back-to-back base runners for UCLA. Woolery up to second. Grant down to first on the free pass with 1 out.
Bragg in a similar situation yesterday is where she hit her 3-run shot with the 2 runners on base. Grime isn't allowing that to happen.
And Emma Cox is going to go out to talk to Lindsey Grime. Just saw a shot earlier, a couple arms warming up in the bullpen. Elise Sokolsky, a righty for Oregon, and Stacey Chambers, a lefty. Kanaya Bragg scheduled to hit, and as you mentioned, Dylan, hit that 3-run homer yesterday. That was off Taylor Spencer in the top of the 6th inning. Really cemented a Bruins victory, put them from up 5-0 to 8-0. Bragg today, 1 at bat, she walked in the 2nd. Ducks defense up the middle, playing a little bit back, Sinicki and Jones. And Grime grabs the outside corner, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. A little bit up and inside. Competitive pitches from Grime.
Aggressive as well. I mean, she's an aggressive pitcher, and she really just attacks all the time, and it's such a pro of her game.
And the 1-1 reached for and poked foul, out of play. Lindsey Grime now jumps ahead of Kanaya Bragg. Ball and 2 strikes.
Grime has really been all velocity today, and that's what's gone the punch out, but maybe now kind of going through 2nd, 3rd time, she'll start to land the off speed.
Foul ball. I thought she struck out Kanaya Bragg, but just got a piece of that ball, and she stays alive.
Yeah, work south. Hasn't really gone at the bottom of the zone too much today. And Bragg just trying to change her bat path and fouled it off. A little tip.
1-2 again. Floater caught by Sinicki at shortstop. They're going to turn the DP. Unbelievable. Paige Sinicki, the Rawlings Gold Glove winner last year, making a case to go back-to-back. 2nd time in this game the Ducks have turned a double play. Halfway a sellout today, but still a really nice crowd here on attendance at Jane Sanders Stadium. Bottom of Oregon's order, due up 7-8-9. Ayana Shaw, Katie Flannery, and Kaylin Jones. Shaw fouls off the first pitch.
Corner infields are in for Shaw as she tried to put down that bunt towards the first base line, but Megan Grant had a read on it, able to throw that down to 2nd to Savannah Pola.
A 1, Shaw pokes it the other way, deflecting off the glove of Woolery, out to the shortstop Bragg. No play will be made. Ayana Shaw, it's a good piece of hitting, just sticking your bat out there, put it into play, good things will happen. It's a lead off. Could be a hit.
And the sharp defense of UCLA just turning a little bit blunt. They're just not able to really glove things the way they were yesterday. Something's changed.
And it was leadoff single for Ayana Shaw. That's 2 hits in this series. Flannery flares it back foul, 0-1.
If this bottom of the lineup can get going, Aiden, I mean, they've been kind of dormant this whole weekend. Katie Flannery, she definitely has some lightning in her bat.
Fisher is 0-1. Flannery takes outside. Shaw dancing off of first. So the Ducks, that was their 4th hit of the day. That is tied the most they've had in a single game this series. It happened on Friday when they got 4 hits and scored 3 runs. Just had 3 yesterday and no runs. Flannery, a wild swing and a miss. Shaw stealing 2nd, gets there as the throw trickles into center field. She dove in head first and maybe got a little bit shaken up. She took a tough collision into the bag. She wasn't able to get up, and she's still down on the ground. Tough sight to see.
She faced some injury issues earlier in the year, so definitely a little scary.
Take another look. I think it was a hit and run. Flannery had to swing no matter what. It wasn't a very good pitch to swing at. And now Shaw up to her feet, but the shortstop Bragg had a cut in front of the second base bag, had to go off the tip of her glove, and Iona Shaw up on 2 feet talking with the trainers and Coach Lombardi trying to shake this one off.
And it looked to be a part of the collision. Just her legs were kind of up, diving into first, able to get under the tag, and Bragg, I think her arm collided with Shaw, but she'll stay out, Aiden.
Yeah, she's going to stay in there.
So
a single and then a stolen base, and then, as the Ducks do, it's been their kind of stolen base celebration is to stick the landing, and Shaw brings that one out, and seems like she's feeling a little bit better.
The dugout just greeted with a smile, and that's always good to see when a player goes down.
So the Ducks have had the leadoff runner on in innings 1, 3, and 4, and both times they've then advanced to second base. That one's outside to Flannery, 2-2.
Yeah, just definitely establishing that leadoff hitter. Been a struggle for both sides, and UCLA figured it out yesterday, and the Ducks figuring out now in the most important game of the series.
Fisher in a big spot here. The 2-2. Flannery watches it go down low. 3-2 now to Oregon's third baseman. Flannery looking for a big hit. Was 0 for 2 yesterday. The pitch to her is up and away. Ball 4. So a leadoff single. Handed out by Fisher, and then gives the walk to Flannery. Ducks with back-to-back base runners here in the fourth.
And Fisher kind of facing her first trouble all weekend long. And this one actually from her own arm. And that pitch was high. It was pretty borderline. I don't think the Bruins necessarily liked the call, but nonetheless, no outs, runners on first and second. Fisher needs to find something.
Brings up Kaylin Jones, the 9th hitter in the Ducks order. See if she might try to drop down a bunt to advance the runners. Pitch from Fisher. She tried to poke at it and went around and missed. It's a strike.
And that bunch is kind of poking at it, but also coming down on it, maybe trying to go a little bit of a chop or give herself more time to advance the runners.
It's a tough thing to execute, especially with this Bruins defense. Woolery and Grant crashing in down the lines. Jones not bunting, takes a ball. And I found it interesting, the second baseman for UCLA, Savannah Pola, every time, no one's really covering the second base bag, so after the pitch is fired, Pola's got to run over and then hold Shaw on.
Interesting situation to be in. You need to be able to cover first and second there.
The 1-1, Jones takes away, and it's 2-1.
She's definitely getting some good little half sprints in, kind of going to second, just making sure Iona Shaw stays put.
And Jones 0 for 1, a fly out in the second inning. A 2-1 from Fisher. Swings and hits that one down the first base line, but to the right of the line.
Jones maybe a little shaken after the swing, takes a bit of time.
Ducks already with a 4-0 advantage ahead of the Bruins. And something brewing for Oregon offensively in the bottom of the fourth. They've got the first 2 base runners on. That'll be a 2-2 to Kaylin Jones. Fisher's pitch, grounded down towards first, foul again.
Good battle from Jones.
Bracy Rosa is standing in the on-deck circle for Oregon. That would be Kailu Shar's spot, number 1 in the Ducks order. Another 2-2. Jones, a little half swing, didn't go around, and it's another ball. 3-2.
And Rosa in the on-deck circle, I mean, she pinch hit for Kailu Shar in game 1, about the 6th inning. And it could be if they advance the runners to third with 1 out, Rosa has the pop to get a sac fly.
The payoff from Fisher. Jones swings, hits that one hard to the right center field gap. Osteen is back, and it's gone! The first career home run for Kaylin Jones. And it couldn't come at a bigger moment. Ducks have put up a touchdown. It's 7-0 Oregon.
The Jane is rocking, and for good reason. First career home run from Jones. And she's never hit a ball as pure as that one. Finally, Addison Fisher officially broken. That one got out of there in a hurry. Perfect spot.
Now off the bat, I'll be honest, I wasn't quite sure if that one was going to get out. It was Luchar after the 3-run home run by Kaylin Jones. We talk about some of these freshmen on this Oregon team. Riley McCoy with 14 homers, Stephanie Maake with 13, Emma Cox with 4, but Kaylin Jones finds her first in a big way. 2-0 now to Luchar.
You know, she's not known to be the power threat. That's not why she came to Oregon. She came to Oregon to play some great defense and drop down some bunts and use her speed and get on, but the power comes through at a pivotal time. Looking like it's like a football score here, Aiden, as he said.
3-0 to Luchar, and Mike Fisher and UCLA, they seem shell-shocked right now. Just took the wind right out of their sails. The 3-0, Luchar tosses the bat, takes ball 4. Second time in this game Luchar has walked, third time that she's reached base.
It hasn't registered really in at bat because of the 3 walks. And I think a change will be made.
And you're right, Dylan. New pitcher enters the ball game for UCLA. It's going to be Taylor Tinsley. Addison Fisher is done. Fish out of water, and the Ducks with a Luchar. Running is Kai Luchar. The throw down, no chance. Another stolen base for Oregon. Luchar up to second.
Queen of stolen bases. And she had a bag for every base she's stolen this season. I mean, it would probably cover every wall in her room. It's an unreal amount.
One, two, McCoy up and away.
Yeah, Aiden, you were talking about Tinsley, and yeah, it was just 2 bad pitches that both ended in home runs in favor of the Ducks, but she was dominant really all night long. I mean, didn't give up a hit till the 4th, which was the solo shot for the hitter in the box right now, McCoy.
Tinsley's 2-2. High again. 3-2. This inning got started on a slap single to third base by Ayanna Shaw. Katie Flannery walked Kaylin Jones, then hit her first career home run, a 3-run shot over the wall in right center field. Kai Luchar reached on a 4-pitch walk, and then Taylor Tinsley has since entered. Payoff, McCoy hits that one in the right center field gap. Osteen's running back, but she's not going to get it. It's going to one-hop up against the wall. Luchar tearing around to score. The throw in, not in time. McCoy's got a double. McCoy and Luchar trade places, and Oregon is pouring it on here at home. It's 8-0 Ducks.
And McCoy just goes to right center. Good approach from her. And she had Tinsley's number on Friday and maintains to keep it. Put it to one part of the park, kind of where Jones's hit went, so that this one stayed in.
Still nobody out in the inning. 3 hits in the frame and 2 walks. And we'll have a pinch runner in for Oregon. That's going to be Reagan Legg. Running in place of McCoy at second. Legg was called on to pinch run yesterday for Desiana Patman in the 5th inning. Here's Kedri Luchar, big rip and a miss.
The Ducks now in run rule territory. 3 more outs, and they'll secure the 2-1 series win and just flipping the script on the Bruins from yesterday.
Sails outside, 1-1, and you're right, Dylan. They're going to be going to the 5th inning, at least up 8-0. Obviously looking for more. What a statement the Ducks have made on this Easter Sunday. Tinsley's 1-1. Luchar swats it straight back foul.
Luchar homeward off Tinsley on Friday night to get that insurance that was ended up being crucial for the Ducks.
Luchar tripled back in the 3rd inning to drive in a run. She also came around to score. The pitch to her, a ground ball towards first. Grant's got it, and they say foul ball. She had to reach over the line to put it into her glove.
A little bit of a Tony toe tap on that first base line. A little snag.
So the count still a ball and 2 strikes to Kedri Luchar. Taylor Tinsley just trying to calm the storm of this Ducks offense. The 1-2 fouled away.
The thing about Oregon, while Tinsley does try to calm the storm, the Ducks thrive on this chaos. And that's kind of what's propelled them today. Now at 8 runs, the chaos on the base paths, the errors from the UCLA defense, it all came crashing down.
1-2, Luchar ground ball in the hole on the right side, base hit. Legs get in the way of around, the throw to the plate, not in time. Luchar's just going to move up to second because the throw went into home. It's 9-0 Oregon.
Clutch hitting, everything timely. This Oregon team wants control of the Big Ten, and at this rate, they're gonna have it. This is a championship mentality roster, and it's showing here on Sunday.
Brings up Emma Cox, still with no one out in the inning. Cox is going to be the 7th batter to step into the box for Oregon in this 4th frame. So Kedri Luchar give her an RBI in the single. Cox bunts, pops up to third. It bounces on the line, but then out of play, or to the left of the line, rather, a foul ball.
Woolery a little shaken up, but she went lay it out full. And don't blame her. Almost a great play from Jordan Woolery. She made a great one yesterday as well with that barehanded throw down to first.
Tinsley's 0-1. Cox late to the party. Swings and misses 0-2. Here's the pitch. Cox backspins one into Oregon's bullpen. Foul ball. And Dylan, this is really impressive by Oregon. I mean, not just putting up these runs as is, but when you lose 8-0, you get run ruled at home. It had been years since that had happened to Oregon softball. Most of these players on this Oregon team had not really experienced a lot of run rule losses just in general. But to be able to put up 9 runs and counting like they have today, it's something else.
Absolutely, and I think that just shows this is the golden group. This is your team that can take you to the promised land, and I think a lot of credit needs to go to the coaching staff and Melissa Lombardi. She brought that championship mentality from Oklahoma, and it's really rubbing off in Eugene.
It's a head coach of Melissa Lombardi, who is in her 7th season here in Eugene. Still searching for that first Women's College World Series appearance. Gotten close a couple times, made the Supers in 2023. Pitch to Cox, swing and a miss. She strikes out for the 2nd time today, and finally the Bruins record out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th.
That's a breath of nice, fresh Oregon air for Tinsley and the Bruins. Now you have Sinicki up to bat, and Oregon's going to be playing for keeps, and UCLA doesn't want another one to come across.
Here's Paige Sinicki, 1 for 2 today, singled to drive in a run in the 1st. Tries to bunt, pulls back, and I guess took low, 1-0.
The fact that she's coming out here and still trying to lay out a bunt and advance the runner, I mean.
Can never have enough runs, right?
Yeah. Wants to pile it on.
The 1-0 Sinicki pops it up on the infield. Her shortstop counterpart Bragg on the short lawn and left makes the catch a little bit closer to the line. That's back-to-back outs retired by Taylor Tinsley.
It's a good 1-2 outs that you need. Now all that's left is the Bruin offense to come alive. But they're having a day that Oregon had yesterday with only 2 hits through 4.
Here's Des Patman, the only hitter that has not gotten a chance to hit in this inning. She takes ball 1 from Tinsley.
Yeah, I mean, like you just said, it's unreal. They're ready. They went through all 9. She doesn't want to be the last.
One-0. Patman skies it. Right field, Osteen coming in, makes the catch. So it's 3 batters retired in a row. It's 5 runs for the Ducks in the...
A good sleep and team talk can change so much.
Here's Alexis Ramirez, the Bruin designated player. Takes downstairs from Grime, 1-0. You just see that a lot in softball. You gotta have short-term memory. You gotta forget about the bad. You can dwell on the good for a little bit, but you're just taking it one game at a time. This one's popped up and straight back foul. I think one game in particular I remember for Oregon softball last year, they were on the road in Salt Lake City against Utah. Took game 1 against the Utes 20-3, but then the Utes fought back and won 10-7. So you can suffer a really bad defeat, but it's how you respond is what really matters. The 1-1 is rolled foul down the third base line to the left of the line.
Yeah, and Melissa Lombardi again just saying, take it one game at a time. They're in playoff mentality right now. Is kind of what she's been preaching, and it's showing. I mean, Sunday games they've been able to win them, and it's the most important day of the week.
The 1-2 popped up. Flannery gives it a look, but it will not stay in play as it bangs off the roof of Oregon's dugout.
Might be a souvenir, or it'll go through a little gap.
I think someone got it.
Always good to leave the ballpark at the softball.
Grinds 1-2. Hit towards left center field. It's going to get down. Luchard's not going to be able to cut it off as it gets all the way to the wall. Trucking into second base and getting there, standing up, is Alexis Ramirez. A 1-out double for UCLA here in the top of the 5th.
And smiles from
More meetings against the Ducks. They've dominated just the previous historical matchups against Oregon. Oregon looking to try to get one up on the team from Westwood. Sophia Mujica stands in. The catcher takes ball 1.
Ramirez, the only player to go 2 for 2 in the last at bat, and then Mujica who popped out to short.
Swings at this one, floats it out to center field. It's just waiting on gravity to do its thing. Kedri Luchard makes the catch. Ramirez trying to tag. The throw in is in time for the out. Ball game over. Series over. Oregon takes 2 out of 3 from UCLA. A 9-0 run rule victory as it ends in 5 for the moment. Gotta imagine UCLA is going to want to challenge it. You have to.
I mean, you need to stay alive. And even though it's a 9-run deficit, that's a runner on third.
It was a big gamble by Ramirez. You never want to make the third out at third base. Dude, that was actually the pinch runner, Riley Pinedo, who was in there, but still, the umpires are going to take a look.
I mean, let's see what it shows us. It's a great throw from Luchard in center. Over to third base bag. Does Pinedo get under the tag?
Definitely ahead of the runner. Ooh, I don't know. I think the difference might be if Pinedo got her right hand in there, but did she hold it on the bag? Flannery did a good job of holding that tag. See, it's on her, and then does her hand come off there? Maybe. I think so.
I think the hand does come off, Aiden. You're correct. That's just unfortunate for Pinedo. You need to keep that on. That's what you practice when you're advancing.
Those are great shots by our replay and video team back in the studio at Matthew Knight Arena, giving us all the different angles of this one. It's a huge call, right? Because when
I mean, this is series.
Could end the ball game.
Yeah. This is pivotal. And even though it's a large deficit, a momentum shift is all a ball game really needs as they keep on looking at the film. But also another thing I saw, Aiden, is maybe Flannery didn't keep the tag on when Pinedo's hand went off.
I remember the original call on the field was out. But the Ducks waiting to celebrate a potential series win. They were shut out 8-0 in 6 innings against UCLA. Trying to do that in 5 innings, but beat them 9-0.
And if this stays, defense wins championships. And that's what the Bouchard sisters kind of do for you in the outfield. They win you championships.
Here we go. Umpires out of the replay side. Here's the call. And it is over. Call is upheld. Series 1 for the Ducks. Number 5 takes down number 6. 9-0 the final score in 5 innings.
And what a bounce back from Oregon. A statement win, if there ever was one. And finally, this weekend that's been building up for this whole season, the 5-6 matchup that we've been waiting for in the Big Ten. And the Ducks fly high and ground the Bruins.
So it's the first series loss of the season for UCLA. The Ducks take 2 out of 3. They win